I'm going to start by saying forgive me for whatever happens after this point in time, because holy doly, we're in Georgia and we're in the land of wine and the land of cha-cha. Coming up through from Azerbaijan, as soon as I cross into Georgia, I'm not saying anything bad about Azerbaijan, but I get here and I love it. So I'm in the pretty much Georgian's wine capital, Sighnaghi, and I guess you would say it's also the capital of wine in the world. Georgians claim, and I believe it, to have invented wine. They've been making wine here. There's evidence of winemaking for around 7,000 years. They still make it in the traditional style in clay pots underground. And let me tell you, wine is in their culture. Like it is just part of literally breakfast. It's literally something like you'll just sit down and a bottle of wine be put on the table, and generally for free, which I got stuck into a couple last night. Man, just sitting down with the owner just for breakfast, having freaking cha-cha shots. Shit can get pretty crazy here if you're not used to the Georgian style of alcohol for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I've decided today to head off onto a wine tour, which is how all good stories start. We're about halfway through the wine tour. I'm not bringing you along on the wine tour because that's a little pleasure I'm keeping for myself, but I strongly urge anyone out there, if you enjoy wine, get involved. I'm at a place that I was at 7 years ago at the end of a wine tour, and what the difference 7 years makes. Check this out. So I was here, I remember this was a bar. Everyone at the end of the wine tour, there was about 15 of us or something or other like that, and this bar was cranking. There was music going on, everyone was drinking beer. We're up on the top deck of it. So it's a bit of a shame to see that it's clearly like, well, hasn't survived. But I remember last time I was here, I was like, oh, should I have a swim? I'll never be here again. Well, I'm here again. And I've had a swim, so. But unfortunately, I can't have a beer here anymore. Those days have gone. Alrighty. Well, I'm halfway through a wine tour, so off to the next winery. I'm up at this ancient monastery up in the hills. I don't know the name of the monastery. It's a beautiful view. This is one of the oldest wine cellars in Georgia. This is from the 5th century, and this is where they would store the wine in the clay pots kind of under the ground. You can see it here, and the wine would go in there. So this is ancient. This is where they used to put the grapes, stomp on the wine, and it would come out this little drain here. But this is a monastery actually, so the monks made the wine up here on the top of this mountain. It's a beautiful old building. So cool, there's a great little piece of history. Look at the view from this monastery. This is where the wine cellars were in here. And look at this, just looking straight out over the Caucasus. All the wine, all the grape region down here, so they grow it, all the vineyards. That is beautiful, what a stunning part of the world. This is absolutely incredible, the artwork that's in here. These paintings, I mean this is all 5th century. The detail up on this. A lot of it's been lost. So I finally figured out the name of where I am. This is the Necresi Monastery. and there's some winery here. We're deep in the Caucasus Mountains, in about 7 kilometers of tunnels. A lot of storage. This continues on apparently for like that one goes about 2 kilometers that way. This carries on. Do a lovely little wine tasting. You could quite literally get lost down here, but it's just wall to wall, and it's dark in here and it's cold as well. Wall to wall bottles of wine. Just been storing it here. I'm in love. Just leave me in the caves. I'll just be a caveman. These Georgian mountains. I think we've got one more winery to go. Sighnaghi is known as the city of love, and even if you don't find love here, you'll fall in love with here. This place is absolutely beautiful. This is my second time here. I was here 7 years ago, and you know, sometimes you worry that the past experience that was so amazing, you don't want to try to revisit because, well, it might not live up to the memory. You don't want to ruin that. But I can tell you, like coming back here, the moment I crossed over from Azerbaijan and got here, I just felt back at home again for some reason. It was definitely not let me down at all. We're sort of perched up on the top of a hill here. Fantastic views over the Caucasus. And there's all these defensive structures built in the 18th century. There's about 5 kilometers worth of them. And they sort of snake their way around the hill, and we'll see if we can go check it out. It's all over here. And everywhere you go around Sighnaghi, when just views are everywhere. It's not the architecture, it's the landscape. It's such a dramatic place. You can see the snow-capped peaks up here. These are all around the 5,000 meters. Hello, how are you?
Where are you from?
I'm from Australia.
Australia. What's your native language?
English.
English.
Well, yeah, before that is the ancient Aboriginal people have their own language.
I'm first time in Georgia.
Second time in Georgia.
Second time. Do you like our country?
I love it here. So we go through some of the old city gate walls down here, which all of Sighnaghi is surrounded by old walls, defensive systems. It's just such a beautiful, you could just wander around here for days. So Sighnaghi can get pretty busy during the day. It gets a lot, being such close proximity to Tbilisi, only 2 hours by Marshutka. A lot of day tour groups come here from Tbilisi and don't spend the night, just come for the afternoon. So in an hour or so it can get really busy in the streets here, but I guess anything as beautiful as this is going to attract some attention, isn't it? If you come here, I think you'd be really doing yourself a disservice by doing just a day trip from Tbilisi. Like the best, just come and spend a couple of nights here. Geez, I've been here for 4 nights now, and I was here for about a week last time I was here 7 years ago, and I'll come back. Absolutely, I'll come back. Bless you. Right up on a section of the old city walls here. Let's go along. How many cool things have happened in here in history, you know, like what battles, what people have had to run down here with bow and arrows to defend their city. I don't know if you can see it. We'll get down to here to some more ramparts, but this whole way around the fortified walls just envelops Sighnaghi, and everywhere you go will be a nice little restaurant with some very delicious vino. So down here what we're looking at, these are the Caucasus Mountains, and they kind of like taper off down towards where I was at. Sheki was over here, and this is Azerbaijan. So I came up through from this city and up this way, and Azerbaijan's boundary kind of runs along almost the base of the Caucasus, and it kind of comes around here, and then just down here becomes Georgia. I'm not sure where I went through the post, but yeah, so a lot of this valley here is actually Azerbaijan, and then it goes to Georgia from here. Those mountains pretty much what I'm looking at here, and then on from that is Dagestan over there. So it's a pretty gnarly little part of the world. The whole way, these ramparts, they go right up to the top of the hill. You can keep following the old fortified walls the whole way down through here, and then come down here and you can follow it the whole way down, all up here. Alrighty, let's get down from this rampart. So it's such a shame. Last time I was here, this is a beautiful restaurant. It's burnt down, unfortunately. So hopefully somebody gets this restored, because it was a stunning building. But it's a stunning little street here. There's all the little balconies and the colours. Yeah, it's such a... Well, and this is a lot of what Sighnaghi is like. You can see it all the way down here. Look how cute these are. And everywhere you go will be grapevines growing over everything. Look at that.